Hey, welcome back. So if you're in the corporate event world, you know the deal, right? Sales kickoffs, massive conferences, tons of stakeholders, the pressure is real. Today, we are going to talk about a huge shift. We're going to move from being that reactive person just putting out fires all day to becoming a truly calm, strategic operator, someone who actually leads with authority.
And let's just dive right in by tackling a massive myth in our industry. You know the one, this idea that stress, burnout, and all that last-minute chaos, well, that's just part of the job. It's almost like a badge of honor, right? But here's the thing. What if that's totally wrong? What if all that chaos is just a sign that your system is broken? You see, this belief that chaos is just going to happen, it's a trap. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it keeps so many amazing, talented people stuck in this loop of just being completely overwhelmed. But guess what? You can break that cycle. This whole mindset that burnout is something to be proud of, it's not just hurting you, it's just completely unnecessary. Because when we start to buy into this myth, we start thinking that if we're stressed, we must be doing a good job. That feeling completely drained is just, the price you pay. And this is exactly what happens when you don't have clarity. You start confusing the symptom, which is the chaos, for the actual job. Okay, so how do we get out of this? Well, it all starts with understanding that there are really two ways to operate. And this is the core of it all. It's about transforming from that reactive planner into a strategic operator. So let's paint a picture of the before, okay? We've all been there. You're the accidental planner. Maybe you're an amazing admin pro, and boom, you've been handed a massive conference. Suddenly, you are drowning in expectations, you're trying to juggle priorities from like 5 different bosses, and you're just constantly putting out fires from last-minute changes that come all the way from the top. I mean, sound familiar? And what's so powerful here is the shift in identity. The reactive planner is all about pleasing everyone, and what happens? You just end up absorbing all their stress. But the strategic operator? Their goal is to lead. They don't absorb the stress, nope. They guide the whole process with clarity. They become the calm center in the storm. And here's where the rubber meets the road. A newbie mistake? You just assume vendors are going to show up on time. But the expert? The expert provides super detailed schedules for everything because they know that precision is what stops problems before they even start. A newbie makes a timeline that's packed with zero room for error. The expert? They build in buffer time. They know that real life happens, and that little bit of breathing room is what makes everything feel seamless. All right, so how do we actually build that bridge from being reactive to being strategic? Well, it's all built on 3 core pillars, and these pillars are going to completely reframe how you think about your work. Pillar number 1 is clarity. This, right here, is the antidote to chaos. Before you do anything, before you book a venue, before you send a single email, you have to get crystal clear. What's the real point of this event? What's the ROI we're trying to hit? Who is this actually for? The stakeholders, the execs, the attendees? Once you have that level of clarity, you just stop reacting and you start leading. And that brings us to pillar number 2, structure. Now, when I say structure, I don't mean being rigid or inflexible. Think of it more like a container. It's the invisible framework, your workflows, your templates, your comms plan, that actually holds everything together. It supports all the creative stuff, and honestly, it protects you from getting totally overwhelmed. It's like the silent backbone of excellence. And that leads us right to the heart of this whole thing, sovereignty. Okay, what does that mean? It's really about self-possession. It's your ability to stay grounded, to be emotionally neutral, even when you've got anxious stakeholders breathing down your neck. It's that calm authority that lets you handle all the internal politics and guide the vibe of the event instead of just getting sucked into the drama. Okay, so that's the big idea, the philosophy. But now, let's get practical. Let's talk about the actual tools you can use to build that calm authority. This is your sovereignty toolkit. First thing in the toolkit, the master timeline skeleton. Now, this isn't your super detailed minute-by-minute schedule. Nope. Think of this as the high-level blueprint for the whole project. It's what you share with executives. And look, see those buffer zones? That's the secret sauce. You intentionally schedule these little pockets of time to catch up, to recover. It protects your team, absorbs any surprise delays, and just makes the whole timeline breathable right from the get-go. Next up, operational boundaries. And this is so important. Boundaries aren't about putting up walls. They're just professional agreements that protect everyone's time and energy. Like, you could set a rule that says, hey, all feedback from stakeholders needs to be in our project tool by Friday at 5. Or any last-minute changes to the agenda, gotta have written approval from the event lead. See? It just creates predictability and respect. And finally, a communications framework. You know, in a corporate job, you're juggling a ton of different stakeholders. The single most strategic thing you can do is create a single source of truth. This could be a dashboard, a shared doc, whatever. It's one place where everyone can go to get the latest updates. And just like that, you stop all those endless, hey, just checking in emails. You're now proactively controlling the information, not just reacting to it. So what happens when you start using these tools? Something really powerful. It's not just about changing what you do. It's about changing who you are. You actually start to lead with this incredible, calm authority. This is you. Now, you're the creative operator. And just look at these words. These are action words. You're not just reacting anymore, or just trying to make everyone happy. You are actively anticipating what's needed. You're designing the systems. You're leading the stakeholders. You're communicating on purpose. You've officially become a strategic partner, not just an assistant.
And this is why it's a game changer. Your presence, your calm, is literally the emotional thermostat for the entire event. I'm serious. It sets the tone for everybody, from the CEO down to the catering staff. When you're grounded, they feel grounded. So your calm isn't just about you feeling good. It is your #1 most powerful leadership tool. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one question to really think about. Your calm is your power. You are in control of that thermostat. So, for your next big corporate event, what temperature are you going to set?